we talk about Survivor now? Okay, because this show is such an exercise in wise mind and having to stay and keep yourself in wise mind. So I want to talk about episode 13 because it is so chock full of so many examples in DBT. And I promise I won't spoil episode 14 because I just finished watching it. But episode 13 was so full of stuff that I just wanted to highlight the examples of DBT in action in this episode. So to start with, we have Sue talking about how she feels like she wants to rip someone's head off, right? So we have an example of wise mind here already because she's got this huge emotion, this intense anger, and she's verbalizing it to the camera. So she's owning it. She's not shameful of it. She's holding it right up there. I feel this, and yet at the same time, she's going, this is not good for my game. I'm not showing this to anybody. So logic is engaged, emotions are engaged, but she's still got both. You know what I mean? She's not getting carried away into one, dismissing her emotions. She's not getting carried into the other, totally throwing away her game, chucking all that. She's just in the wise mind space. And so many contestants do this. So I just thought it was like such a brilliant, quick hit of, what it looks like to be in wise mind without dismissing your own emotions and without feeling shame for having them. You know what I mean? Like she was just very like, I own, that I'm having this anger. Okay, so also we have an example of Genevieve. I think it was at Tribal Council where she talked about everybody is on the same page of voting Rachel off, So Genevieve really showed what it's like to think dialectically, which you see this a lot again in Survivor. This was, why I love this show. But, she said, everybody's voting Rachel off unless, and she considers the opposite and she holds that up. So it's like, okay, I hope this is going to happen. The whole thing that I'm being told, this bill of goods that, Rachel's getting voted off. But at the same time, anything can happen, so she's considering both, she's not, getting caught up in one or the other, which is sort of like what leads to people getting blindsided, right? When you really only consider that things are going my way and you're not really considering the opposite. That happens to someone else in this episode. Okay, so can we talk about that person? Because that happened to Andy. And the art of the blind side always leads to the act of radical acceptance, right? Because like if you're getting blindsided, you're really not considering the opposite. You're considering, I'm staying. There's no way I'm going, or I'm probably not going to go. Or you might think that you're going to go, but it's like you dismiss it as a fleeting thought, like, nah, I'm staying. So when someone gets blindsided, automatically on this show, you have to act as if you have radically accepted that your game is over. You know what I mean? Like you're coming to tribal thinking that you're going to go back for the rest, of the time and you have a chance in this game. And in one fell swoop, your torch is getting snuffed. So the beauty of Survivor is kind of like you get to see people in radical acceptance when they get blindsided. And so that's what it looks like, they're kind of like sitting there waiting for the votes to come and you can kind of see it on their face. They're kind of like, whoa, this is not going the way that I expected, and then they have to get up and go through this ritual. That is what we call in DBT acting as if, this is what I would look like. This is what I would do if I was accepting this. And even though their mind may not be in it, their body has to move in a certain way. You have to get up. You have to like say goodbye to everybody. You have to bring your torch over. You have to stand there and get it snuffed. This is a ritual they go through. But in DBT, we talk often about acting as if you can get your body to do the actions that you would do, that you conceive, this is what accepting would look like. You can bring your mind, to follow. So acting as if, you see this all the time in Survivor. So radical acceptance. I'm going to say a lot more of radical acceptance in another video because I saw a great special by Jamie Foxx recently on Netflix, and I want to talk about radical acceptance in that. That's a great example. So look for that. But can I say a little more about Andy? Because I just want to highlight that if you look at the entire season of Survivor and you see how Andy misstepped, early on, then that he recovered, he had such a recovery and, he ended up lasting pretty long time, in this game. And it's just such a testament to the idea of being one mindful, staying in the moment, being in being mind, rather than doing mind and looking to the next, staying with the moment and knowing that I can get through this. This is just one moment. Emotions are temporary. It's such a testament to the fact that emotions are temporary and people's reactions to your emotions are temporary. Everything's temporary. So the idea that it's going to come and go and you're going to be able to recover. This is temporary. It's not permanent. It's really beautifully illustrated in the season where I think it's 47, where, he makes this huge misstep, but then he really recovers. So never give up on yourself. All right, I will see you next time.